Well, guys, as many of you know, Hellblade 2 has been released. It's been out for a couple of days now, and to be honest, it's about what you'd expect from this series. Now, as somebody who thoroughly enjoyed the first game, I actually played it a couple of years ago for the first time. I had never really thought about playing it. I saw it on Game Pass, and I was like, hey, you know what? Why not? I was pleasantly surprised with the game. So that being said, when I knew that there was a sequel coming out, I was kind of hyped for it. I was kind of excited about it. I was thinking, hey, maybe this would be a really cool kind of a, kind of a niche game that isn't typically my thing. But of course, walking simulator. I hear what you guys are saying. The first game's a walking simulator. What were you expecting? I really liked the story of the first game. I thought the characters were great. I thought the storyline was fantastic. I thought the scenery, the effects, the whole hearing the voices, the psychotic breakdowns and stuff. I really enjoyed the first game. That being said, yes, these games are more cinematic. They're more storytelling. I get that. But the first game was very enjoyable for me. Then when I played the second one, I'm about halfway through. We're going to finish this game. If you're watching this video Friday, we're finishing it tonight. We're doing a second half of it on the live stream, probably around 9:30ish Pacific time. So what I've played of it so far has been kind of disappointing, to say the least. And again, a lot of people have said that they made the game woke, that it's full of DEI. I've encountered a couple situations where maybe there's something there, like feminism, girl power, or whatever. To be honest, the game is just kind of boring. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is. And a lot of people are saying the same thing. The game already has less players currently playing it than the first game did. The first game was not expected to make money. It wasn't expected to be profitable for the first 8 or 9 months. It ended up beating expectations, and, then Ninja Theory, the studio behind it, got bought by Xbox, which seems to be the kiss of death at this point for a lot of studios. So unfortunately, this game is just not performing even close to their expectations. And it's unfortunate because it's probably going to result in Ninja Theory being shut down. I can't imagine they're going to survive after their only other game that they really had any hype about, although there was virtually no press promotion for this game. There was no gameplay trailer. There was just cinematics. So it seemed like that this was more like a fancy tech demo than an actual like AAA game that they were trying to promote. It definitely has more of a cinematic indie game feel with very little advertising. So that being said, let's talk about games that are AAA games that managed to kill themselves before they even really had a chance. Suicide Squad Killed the Justice League currently has 373 people playing it online right now. That's down from the all-time peak of 13,000, almost 13,500 4 months ago. This game is only in its second season of content that they've released for it, and it is already essentially a dead game. And there's a lot of reasons you can point at for the reason that this game has failed. Of course, the involvement with Sweet Baby Inc., with the entire wokeness being injected into it, with the dialogue, making Wonder Woman the only hero who doesn't die a undignified death. A lot of this crap. And so we just recently heard that Warner Brothers took a $200 million loss on this game. And you would ask yourself, how could you spend this much money on a game that was this big of a flop? It's not rare. We are seeing it more and more in the triple and quadruple A video game industry, as Ubisoft likes to call their games. This is happening all the time. This is the new thing. It's just like how Hollywood will make these movies that nobody goes to the theater and sees. They take a loss on it, but because they're getting all propped up by BlackRock and Vanguard and all the ESG money, they'll take a loss, they'll operate at a loss, but they won't go out of business just yet because the money is still coming in to push this agenda. So, that being said, we now have the second season, episode 2 of the Justice League, Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League game coming out here. And unfortunately, it's as bad as you would imagine. So the cosmetics that you have in this second season of this game are absolutely as god-awful as you would imagine. So apparently because they released the Joker this season, you get this clown cosmetic. So all the characters have this weird clown paint and missing skin on their bodies. It's very strange. It's a really weird looking thing. But the other thing you notice is that the only character who's not dressed down at all is Harley Quinn. In fact, she has not only like a tank top on, but a sports bra as well, cargo pants down to her ankles, whereas all the other guy characters, even like King Shark here, everybody's in shorts, everyone's ripped up, bare-chested and stuff. And I'm not saying they need to have her topless. I'm just saying she seems excessively covered up compared to her male counterparts. And again, that goes back to this crappy DEI, ESG, wokeness, where every time we see a female character, she has masculine features. She's, covered up. You can't have cleavage. You can't have any sort of femininity. Men can look like, stripped down to their underwear, but for whatever reason, women have to be protected. Although, again, they can't tell you what a woman actually is. So it's kind of this weird hypocrisy they have going on. So this guy here, Aaron Caboose on Twitter, says Joker was released 2 months ago now in Suicide Squad, and he still doesn't have a Batman Who Laughs skin. We're just leaving money at the door. I don't get it. And that's 100% true. I mean, if these people were comic book fans, and I'm not a big comic book nerd or a big comic book fan, but to be honest, I know about the Joker Who Laughs, and I think that would have been a fantastic cosmetic to put in this game. Instead, we get this, which is something worse than even like Jared Leto's Joker from the movie. Like, this is absolutely horrible. And if you think this is bad, just wait till you see this. Apparently, this is the Mr. Freeze that we're going to have in this game. And your eyes are not deceiving you. This is not Mr. Freeze. This here is Mrs. Freeze. Not even joking. So from Learning the Law here on Twitter, it says, Rocksteady, the developers of Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, transformed Mr. Freeze into a non-binary Karen, they, them. This is wild. I mean, it's not even like a joke. They gave her the borderline, like, close crop cut on the side of her hair, the spiky little haircut under here. Maybe it's supposed to look like ice, but either way, it just looks like some weird non-binary Karen haircut. And the funny part is, this is actually something that was leaked a few months ago, and nobody picked up on it because, again, there was absolutely no hype for this game, so nobody cared when Screen Rant and all these other websites ran this article, that apparently it was leaked ahead of time that we might be getting a different version of Mr. Freeze. So we had Mrs. Freeze, the female variant of him, coming in the next DLC or whatever. It's absolutely, like, insane that not only are they still pursuing this, obviously they're going to go with this because they already had the character developed, so they're not going to try to fix it and put Mr. Freeze in there. They're just going to trot this out there and just let it die because they know that nobody's going to play this game. But this is embarrassing. Like, think about this. This is a game that cost $200 million. $200 freaking million in this current day market. And they don't know their audience enough to realize nobody wants this. Nobody wants to play this. Nobody wants to play as Mrs. Freeze. It's just mind-boggling. Like, how can you guys not figure this shit out? It's Batman. Or it's DC, sure, but throw some classic Batman stuff in there. Like, give us Mr. Freeze. Do the Batman Who Laughs as a skin for, a character in the game like Joker. Like, do something that comic book fans or superhero fans would actually care about instead of this virtue signaling nonsense that basically just pisses everybody off. And it does not help sell your game. This game is just a money pit. And it's just shocking to see that they keep putting the same crap out there expecting anybody to care about it. At this point, maybe they just realized, well, the game's a loss. We're going to put a couple seasons worth of stuff out there and just let it die. I doubt they're going to get to 5 seasons. They're probably just going to be like, yeah, here's our content. We're going to drop it and we're done. They're going to end service to the game and that's going to be it. Let me know what you guys think about all this down below. Make sure to check out Meta PCs. Use the link down below, and I've got a discount code as well. And I will catch you guys later. All right, and if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching the video. Thank you for being here. I do have 2 channels, Minimal Effort Podcast, as well as my gaming channel. I do have a Twitch and Kick for my gaming channel. We do live streams over there occasionally, maybe once a week. And then if you are in the market for a new PC, make sure to check out Meta PCs. Click the link I have down below. Use code TBO at checkout for a special discount. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you next time.